Hello, Wolf. Welcome to Diogenes Stories. Today we're going to talk the long game. And bear with me, as sometimes my brain works much faster than my mouth. I'm somewhat, maybe just a little autistic, so I have to really speak slowly and think about what I say. Otherwise it goes a short wire. Um, Where to start? I suppose the most significant turning point in the events, and if you use your own eyes and brain and you're old enough to remember, I think that you'll agree. September 11th in 2001 is the day that the Twin Towers fell and the terrorist attacks. Before that, we were a much different country. And after that, was the turning point when we slowly walked the path of radicalization. And it happened so slowly that most people are just unaware. And that's how we get to the end of this story. Because they slowly raised the water and the temperature, and people unaware going about their lives. And the 24-hour news cycle started to go away from actual news and become more and more propaganda and entertainment. And we know for a fact, because in court, a certain news network admitted that they are just entertainment. And this is why they've been banned in most other countries. And I'm sure if you can think and know who that is. And let's not forget the $1 billion defamation lawsuit that was part of the big lie. Yeah, historically, the big lie that was used against the Germans, it was also used against Americans slowly in the last 10 years, but definitely after 2020. But that's jumping ahead. So we'll stay focused, and we're going to go on the historical aspect of this long game. After 9/11, a bunch of people in a conservative think tank called the Federalist Society said we need to be able to act faster, so we need to change the Jeffersonian rules. And they knew that the people wouldn't outright go directly, willingly switch from a Jeffersonian republic to the unitary executive branch of Alexander Hamilton that consolidates all three branches of government into the executive branch. So over the last 23 years, when this idea was born, this also led to the birth of the Tea Party. And it's not the taxed enough already party. It's not about governance and taxation and all what on the surface people think it is. It was the Evangelical American Party. And this began the march towards Christianity being prominent against the will of Thomas Jefferson in our republic. And they slowly started to use both the power that they garnered in politics and the positions of power to preach politics from the pulpit. And this ensnared a lot of Americans into this anti-woke movement. And this is how you all became slowly asleep. They duped you with culture wars. And they used these culture wars to, behind the scenes, slowly put judges in power. Slowly gain more positions of power in governmentship in Congress and Senate in both the state and the federal level. They've been putting military officials in different spots. They've been infiltrating the law enforcement spots. This has been planned for 23 years, what's about to occur with Project 2025. So the Evangelical American Party and the Federalist Society, the first step to march us away, giving up freedom for security, was the creation of the Patriot Act, which I myself stood in protest of signing some 20 odd years ago. We were peaceful protesters. We were flashbanged by the government and dispersed. But I've stood up to the man because I do not believe in going away from a Jefferson Republic. I do not believe in the unitary executive branch. And I saw what they were doing from the very beginning. And over 20 years of culture wars, they've slowly marched this idea of giving up freedom for perceived security. And now they have all the positions of power. They have the Supreme Court. They have a compromised, convicted felon that's a national security risk that will do what anybody says because all he wanted to do was stay out of jail. Trump isn't the problem. He's the manifestation of the problem. It's like this root that we let grow unbeknownst, while we were slowly used and duped by well-played propaganda, skillful culture wars, the interjection of religion into our politics, and slowly taking away freedoms for security. This old argument goes back to Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson, and that's the real division that is growing amongst America. The United States of America has historically, as long as we remain the Jeffersonian republic that we've been, always been the most liberal, woke country in the world. Anybody that doesn't want you to be woke wants you to be asleep. It's as simple as that. So over 23 years of these culture wars, convincing people that freedom, liberal, wokeness, individual expression, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of choice it's against, they convince you to go against everything that is at the heart of our republic. And it's not your fault. Social media led to the rise of propaganda, where little lies that were believable, they spread faster than the truth, because the truth isn't attractive. And then even though the truth comes out, it would take years to undo the damage that lie that spread like wildfire did. And because of this, the social media algorithms and how there's literally hundreds of people on the other side of your phone screen that are pretty much social engineers, neural linguistic programmers. And now you got AI, and their whole purpose as a corporate job is to guide you. So Big Brother's been here for a long time. The Matrix has been here much longer than we realize. Because people don't control what they're putting in front of their face. With all these brain-rotted social media videos and following into the echo chambers that the algorithms guide people into, people fall asleep. And it's gotten us into a very dangerous situation. It's like being alive in that movie, Don't Look Up. When you see it so clearly and understand what's going on, and you're like, hey man, this is what's happened. The Federalist Society is giving a convicted felon immunity in implementing the unitary executive branch theory of Alexander Hamilton against 247 years of what we've known as a country. There's drastic changes that are going to occur. And they knew that, like I said, they knew the public wouldn't go willingly for it. So they convinced you that the woke mind virus and liberals were the enemy. And they convinced you to give up your freedom for security. Daddy will save you from those poor brown people. I look at it like this also. To the rise of Trump, it was poorly plagiarized propaganda. And here, I'll tell you the little speech from a little book that I know ironically, most of the MAGAs have claimed that they read and quote. Just replace Big Brother with Trump. But I'm going to say Big Brother. Big Brother will save you. Big Brother will make you great. Big Brother will secure you. Big Brother will educate you. We cannot have that woke mind virus. Or are you thinking for yourself? Big Brother will decide what you read and write and study. I will keep you safe. Big Brother demands loyalty all above all else. All others that aren't loyal to Big Brother are the enemy within. Are you guys starting to realize now? And then that's giving up freedom for security. And they've convinced you to allow changes to the 14th Amendment. Because Tom Homan and Donald Trump have made no secret that they want to end birthright citizenship, which is a guaranteed right in the 14th Amendment that our founding fathers put in there for a reason. So now, tell me, a unitary executive branch with a convicted felon granted immunity, do you think that he's going to stop at one little right? You think I'm being hyperbolic? Go ahead and read up the Supreme Court ruling, what DHS and immigration can do as of December 12th, 2024. It effectively neutered the 4th and 14th Amendments because of security. Now, if you're not American enough, you can be detained without cause. So that means if you're not a white Christian, pretty much, the immigration can detain you. So brown, black, Mexican, whatever, if you're not a white Christian, you're going to be harassed by the new brand of brown shirt ICE. Even if you're here legally now, according to this Supreme Court ruling, and go ahead and Google this. This is reality now. Even if you're here legally, detained, removal of visa, deportation. Even if you're minding your business just because you don't look American enough. Are you ready to wake up yet from the 23 years of propaganda? Now, I suppose I'm about hitting my limit here, but there is a lot more I can say. I've gotten us up to the rise of Donald Trump and how the incoming administration is not president anymore. He's going to be CEO. The first step of the Alexander Hamilton of the unitary executive branch is to give immunity to the executive branch. Once he swears in, the Federalist Society dominated Supreme Court and the House and Senate will all work together to grant him the rest of the powers. This has been the plan all along for 23 years. And as usual, you good Christians, I love you, but you're easily manipulated by propaganda. And if you love your fellow man, if you love this country, if you really are a Christian and you don't want to turn a blind eye to the suffering that's going to come from this chaos, we all need to wake up. We just do. I can continue more, and I will elaborate on Project 2025 because it's here. He's putting them all in his administration. But that's for another discussion. I've had a long enough story for you today. I hope that you all put your egos away and listened. And I'm proud of myself because I do believe that I got it on one try. I honored my ancestors well in the very primal art of verbal storytelling. It's up for you what you do to this information. I'm just the messenger. That's all I am. I am a voice. I just wanted a quiet life. But this is what we chose. Woof. Diogenes out.